Hello, everybody. It's Mrs. Pound, and I'm back with more in Chapter 4.1 on water. Now, today's topic is about rivers. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at and compare the four main stages of rivers. Now, before I really get into this, rivers are really important to society and civilizations because when we take a look at when civilizations popped up, most of the time it's near a body of water. A lot of times it's on rivers. And the reason for this is because of transportation. And also during the Industrial Revolution, they provided power to run mills. They also provide food because we can fish in them. They provide recreation. Perhaps you've gone boating in a river. They provide a lot of cities with their water. So, rivers are just very important to us, and they're a gift from God. But one thing we have to remember is that we haven't always treated them that way. So we also have to be respectful of rivers because they are such a gift, because they do provide us with so many things. However, a lot of times, in the past, rivers were thought to just flush waste out. And so rivers became very polluted because sewage was dumped into them, industrial waste was just dumped into them, and it was thought that they would just carry it away to the oceans and it would disappear, but it didn't. It stayed in the ecosystem. So, as we are thinking about or talking about rivers, just think about those factors. So now, as I talk about these stages of rivers, um, this was set up in really like the 1800s, and this is an older system for describing rivers. It's actually, rivers do not necessarily go through each of these stages. It has to do more with the topography of where they are, but the naming system has stuck to describe their characteristics. So even though it says youthful or mature river, they might still be the same age. So it doesn't really have to do with age. Okay, so youthful rivers are fast flowing, irregular rivers with a steep V shaped channel that is deeper than it is wide and does not have many tributaries. And an example of this is the Ebro River in Spain. And there's a picture of the Ebro in the background here. There are also mature rivers. These are meandering rivers located at low elevation. The channel is wider than it is deep and less steep than those of youthful rivers, and it's fed by many tributaries. Some example are the River Thames in England and the Mississippi River in the United States. Old rivers are slow moving, flat rivers that erode little land. They're less efficient than other rivers at draining water from a watershed, so they tend to flood a lot. There are not many tributaries because numerous smaller tributaries combine. Some example are the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in the Middle East and the Indus River in Southeast Asia. And in the background, you can see a picture of the Indus River, and you can see this vast floodplain on both sides, which actually can be very important for agriculture because, like the Nile River in Egypt, people depend upon the floodwaters to provide nutrients to the land. And then there are rejuvenated rivers. This is a river with increased stream gradient and power to erode, develop when the river's base level falls or the land rises, and river channels become steeper and cuts more deeply into the valley and can form terraces. I really don't know that this is a rejuvenated river, but it just kind of looked a little more youthful, I guess. So I put that in the background. So there you have it, the four main stages of rivers. And as I said, it's a pretty old scheme. It just describes the characteristics of different types of rivers today. So don't forget your 5 questions, and I'll be back with more on water.